with the exception of two of you. So, Salish, we'll do you and Sajar's thing first. Salish, you remember hearing Sajar talk about the Lapis Lock and it's in the drop, and you're just like, I don't want to train literally all day. My body hurts. The Slayer Captain's sort of scary. I'm gonna go get lunch and then go do something else. And you go to Sajar. We'll say you bring him some food. A care package of, I don't know, a Cubano sandwich or something.
Oh, very kind of you. Thank you.
What's Cuba? It's a elven territory. You wouldn't get it. Yeah, so you bring him like a care package, and the two of you are just sort of like chit-chatting, eating some lunch as, Sajar, you're like mulling over your design notes and stuff like that as you're munching. And Silas, you're just like, there's so many shiny things in this room. There's so many intricate odds, bits, and ends. And you're not gonna lie, it's a bit tantalizing for you to want to play around with. That being said, you might piss off Mr. Yarsh. Yarsh, my bad. Yeah, the two of you are, at the workshop. What do you do? Sajar, you will be eventually getting back to your work, but, in the meantime.
I see my message.
Ah, I did not.
Okay.
You could just type this stuff in general chat,
I could, but for reasons if you saw it. I could, but I want to be sneaky.
This is taking me too long to parse through.
I mean, I could just say it.
Yeah, just say it. like I encourage. I don't get me wrong. I enjoy you being sneaky and like keeping secrets from the rest of the group, but at the same time,
yeah,
knowing your metagames.
Yeah. I'd say that the previous night, Silas would have taken some time to sketch out an idea for the Riverco logo that I drew.
Oh, right, yeah.
Your silence is a yes, Crash.
Yes, I'm waiting for you to finish out the rest of the sentence.
Okay, and then Silas, knowing that they're going to be tempted, because they've already seen all the things in this workshop, knowing that they're going to be tempted, they decide, you know what, might as well plan a little mischief to prevent chaos from from unplanned mischief. So, they use prestidigitation to create a ink blot, just somewhere on the logo where they definitely did not mess up because they've drawn it probably like 10 times. They make a little mark that's very clearly not supposed to be there. And then they grab food, and then they show up with a little sketchbook journal thing that they have in hand and food.
Okay.
Sajar.
Yes, sir. Oh, hi. You brought food? Nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Didn't realize. I missed breakfast, so absorbed. Here, have a seat.
Oh, thank you. What you working on?
You guys hear the sound of electricity in the background of the workshop.
What you working on?
I am working on something that you will see in due time.
Oh, secrets.
Well, it's hardly a surprise if I tell you what it is.
Fine. But now you've got me excited. Could you look at something for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, seeing as we're a company, I was thinking if / I guess eventually when we get that keep, we're going to want to have, I guess, a symbol, logo of some sort to be known by, and
insignia? A banner?
Yeah. And I started sketching up some ideas last night, and I'd like you to take a look at one of them that I really like. It sounds open up their journal and put it on the table and show the logo that I drew, but in black and white. It's just a sketch for now. I tried to incorporate a little bit of everyone, I guess. What do you think?
Oh yes, that's very nice to be represented. Yes, yes. Oh, did this wing? Is that me?
Yes, that's you.
Makes sense, I guess. Ah, this must be Anushka.
Yeah.
And
Near the base of the horn for Anushka, you see a splotch of ink that doesn't look like it's supposed to be there.
Oh, is this the part of the design? I point at the ink splotch.
No, it's not. Hold on. Silas grabs the journal and rolls up one of their sleeves and it kind of wipes at the mark. It definitely looks like it's dried ink, but if I can dispel the prestidigitation, then the mark goes away.
I will say there is a verbal component to prestidigitation.
Yeah. Does that include, like, getting rid of a mark that you made? Like, dispelling the...
That's a good point, actually.
Because I used the spell while I wasn't there to put the mark there. So if I just dispel it, then it'll be gone.
It says up to an hour. You could time it.
Okay, fair enough. Roll me your performance.
I can do that.
Give you advantage on it.
I don't know if I need advantage, but thank you. Whoops. I switched it after. Oh, well.
Do take the first one. So you're already me insight.
Go inside.
Clean up a mark. Nothing crazy about that.
That's a really neat trick. You need to show me how you do that at some point. Would
well,
save me hours of work. I point at the stack of papers.
It's gonna be a little difficult. You kind of need fur to do it.
Fur? Huh.
Yeah,
component.
Don't you know? Tabaxi fur is great for erasing ink.
He pauses for like holds up a finger, is like as if he's about to ask something, but changes his mind and like, oh no, that would be rude. Very nice, Silas. Very neat. I'm impressed.
Thank you. But yeah, what do you think of the design?
I like it, and I like the fact that you have everybody represent. You know, with the river is very nicely drawn. Yeah, and these must be the vagrants and everybody else.
Yes, there was a lot to try and fit on there, so I kind of
river
ran it through.
Oh, I see. That's nice. Who's the quill?
That's me.
Oh, of course, Bard.
Didn't feel like drawing an entire violin or something on there. That a quill would suffice.
I like the flame. I think it's very vivid. It's almost like it's got heat. I'm impressed, Silas. Well done. I think the others would love to see this.
I will eventually show them, but I would appreciate if it could also be a surprise.
My lips are sealed.
Thank you.
I will probably have to not mention the fur thing, well, because then they would ask how I know that. No, I'll just keep that to myself.
Might be a good idea as well.
Well,
you guys eventually do have your time pass for lunch, I will say. As much as I want you guys to RP, I see like 20-something more things to go through. So, yeah. That being said, Sajar, roll me your jeweler's tools again. And I'm assuming Silas gives him a bardic.
Yep.
Let's see. No, that's strength. Dex. There you go. Normal. 22.
Nice.
But what about the bardic?
Yeah, slap a bardic.
Is that a 12 or an 8?
What about second?
8.
You wish it was a 12.
Yeah, I do.
Nice!
For this.
Nice! Every little bit helps. It might take some more time, but you're pretty fast clearing through this with, 3 or 4 size people working on it. You finish up your end of things. All that really is left is the final construction of it, which Mr. Yarsh can handle, and some of Naru's components that will be going into them.
Brilliant.
So, let us switch gears. O is typing me for the sending post ally, so check that one off. Alexander.
That is me.
That is you. You want to go find your noble employer.
That I do.
If you were anyone else, you would not be allowed in the noble quarters. But you are a noble, so you're allowed in. Nice. Feels good to be rich and powerful. Yeah, so you enter in, and there is a guide for this sort of stuff, and they lead you over to House Swaron. And, well, you just tell the front, not receptionist, but head servant, who you are, your relation, what brings you about today, and you get brought over to a small little foyer, a little sitting room. Some refreshments are, of course, brought out for you. Most of them are like more of our southern delights in the sense of like these are more southern. So there are some alcohols here if you want to have a noon drink. But there are also teas, of course, cold water, some sweet tea, stuff like that.
Oh, thank God.
Jesus, these people are so uncultured.
It has been
And then
long.
entering in sort of like this like going out outfit, like this sort of like riding attire, no hat or anything or hood. Enters in Lady Azalea Swan. She is fair-skinned, well, pale-skinned if anything. Blonde hair, piercing eyes, but is, gentle demeanor. She enters in accompanied by, her captain of the guard, as well as just her head servant. And she walks over to you with a bit of, not urgency, but some speed there. Captain Alexander.
See, my reputation precedes me. Oh, never mind, I did give my name at the door.
I knew you before that. Let us sit. She, throws back her, coat, sort of flings it off, hangs it off the back of the chair, and sits down, pulls herself in. So, what news do you bring?
As I'm sure you may have already learned, we did encounter a bit of a hiccup with the initial staging of our job that you've hired us for. But foremost, I would like to apologize on behalf of the Silver Swan for delaying this, what was supposed to be a quick and easy outcome. However, despite the loss of life, I am determined to see this mission out to the end. I have employed the aid of the Seekers and Slayers, as well as some pseudo-mercenaries, adventuring types, as you would know them. Let it be known that as a captain of the Silver Swan and as a noble scion of House Risewell, as I draw breath, our contract still stands.
She gets this very, very amused smirk on her face as you say that. Well, it is good to hear that the Silver Swan's reputation is one well earned. You say you are enlisting the aid of the Seekers and Slayers.
Indeed. As it turns out, I forget, what was the mission to get rid of the bandits themselves, right?
Correct.
Yeah. The heirs of Pristiect are in cahoots with another even less savory group called the Purple Sabbatical. The Purple Sabbatical is in worshipping a fell being. The fell being is hosting the hag. Needless to say, once all this came to light, the Seekers and Slayers could not keep away. And so I'm taking advantage of their zealousness.
Well, on that, they are very, very earned. How... She, like, wraps the tips of her fingers on the tabletop. How has your collaboration with them been?
Well, I would assume I do not need to tell you that Seekers are not exactly great conversationalists, and Slayers even less so. But we have been cooperating. And I do not think they will hinder the mission. In fact, I think quite the opposite.
Very good. Well, if any issues arise in your collaboration with them, let me know. House Swallow has been one of their staunchest supporters since their very foundings. We have pull with them.
Right?
She nods.
This is excellent news. I shall certainly take it to heart. But regardless, that is all I wish to share with you today. Thank you for your hospitality. I thank you for the tea. It's been quite some time since I had a nice cool glass.
She like stands up and goes over to you as you're like, ready to leave. If you need any more assistance, come let me know. I will not be called a bad employer. And she takes you like by the arm, brings you a bit closer, and you have my condolences for everything that has happened.
He tries to keep a neutral expression, but his eyebrows do kind of knit together for a moment before he kind of leans away and like pats the hand touching his arm. He said, I truly appreciate that. It was a great misfortune what happened to them. But let it not be said that a few deaths on the Silver Swan's part will come between them and victory.
Roll me a persuasion.
$15.
No guy. Yeah, I was gonna say, no guidance here, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
She like looks intensely as you're saying that. It's not brushing it off, but there is a bit of movement there. And she just sort of stays on target for a moment longer, looking intensely at you. And then she eventually nods once, like, very good. If you wish, I can advance some of the payment out to you, if that will help you in this hunt.
If the need arises, I will, of course, return and see if you are still willing to be so charitable. But for now, I do have spending money myself, and I am still very well equipped. We'll be leaving in 3 days' time now?
Something like that.
4 days. Yeah.
We'll
We'll be leaving within the week.
Very
it
good.
will be a 3-day journey from here to the site that we will be taking the fight to these sabbaticals and the Espristiac.
Alan, can you prepare a letter? Yes, ma'am. I will give you a letter of introduction and reference to my house. I do not know what need you may or may not have in Duvros with it, but I believe it can be helpful.
Well, any form of recommendation you can give me that would provide more leeway while here in Duvros would be very much appreciated.
Alton will prepare one. I will sign off on it, stamp it with my signet ring, and it will be yours to carry around. I will address you in specific. Not the Silver Swan, not your house. You in specific.
Well, that means a lot to me, my lady.
It is all well, your lordship. Eventually, the head servant does come back with like a readied up letter, and as she said before, she signs off in a different colored ink and stamps on it with her signet ring. Once it's properly dried, closed off in its own little fancy vellum envelope, she gives it over to you.
He takes it and kind of like waves it in the air for a second. I assure you, I will not use your name in vain. And he'll tuck it away in his coat. Until next time.
Until next time, Captain.
By the way, this tea was superb.
Shall I give you some to walk around town with?
Now that would be taking advantage of you. And then he will
That's not a no.
give a small bow and depart.
Roll me your perception as you're leaving.
Oh god.
All is well in the world. Nothing has happened.
She's horribly offended that I didn't take her tea.
Yeah, she's like,
You
how
don't
dare
believe
you
that.
not take my
Do that.
tea? Anyway, moving on.
As soon as I turn my back, her fist starts shaking by her side.
Moving on. Let's
Why
go
you
to
sound
Anushka.
like me?